Hello, my fellow human beings, and welcome to episode 120 of The Best Blessed Life. I'm your best host, Kristen, and today's topic is, hey, Cupcake, don't crumble to peaches. Before we get started, I want to thank you all for watching. Please continue to watch, comment, share, like, subscribe, ring that bell, and please pass them on to anyone you think they would help. With that being said, here's our list of things to do today. We have our daily affirmations, of course, for 2 weeks, I believe. We're also going to talk about hope, because we all need a lot of it, right? And then, of course, we're making peach crumble cupcakes. Okay, and then just as a friendly reminder, everything I make for you, I make for the very first time. Okay, so let's start the oven. That was kind of apropos, wasn't it? Okay. Anyway, let's do the affirmations first. And we're going to start with the 29th of March. I am releasing old habits and embracing new positive ones. The 30th, I am attracting kind and generous souls into my life. 31st, I am worthy of pursuing my passions and dreams. April 1st, I embrace imperfection and learn from my mistakes. That's the joke right there. The 2nd, I give myself permission to take breaks, just for a little bit. The 3rd, my thoughts and feelings matter. The 4th, I am not defined by other people's expectations. The 5th, I am proud of my accomplishments. The 6th, I am one of a kind. Thank God. Every day has the potential to be amazing. That was the 7th. The 8th, I am amazed by all I can do in a day. That was the 8th. The 9th, I deserve a life that brings me joy. And for some reason it says my story is unavailable. Oh, there we go. I am getting better and better every day. That's the goal. Just to get better than you were the day before. All right, so the next thing is, we are also going to talk about the results of last week's cake. And also 2 books that one Magnus and I finished, and one we just started yesterday that I really like. Now, of course, I really like the one before that too. So I don't want to get too much into it. Okay, so peach crumble muffins. They're calling them muffins. To me, they're cupcakes. I guess I never realized she called them muffins. Oops, my title doesn't fit necessarily, but you could say, hey, muffin, don't crumble to peaches. Okay, so the recipe is, I'm trying to get that ring off there. 1 1/4 cup flour, 1 1/2 teaspoon baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 2/3 cup sugar, 1 cup fresh or canned, and I'm using canned peaches, 1/2 cup milk, 1 egg, and 1/4 cup vegetable oil. I am using melted butter that has been cooling for a while. And then 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then for the streusel, it's 1/4 cup of flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Oh, I did add cinnamon to the cake part too. And then 4 tablespoons cold butter. Preheat to 350. Prepare muffin tin with liners. Combine flour, baking powder, salt, and sugar in large bowl and whisk to combine. Add peaches and stir well to coat. And she didn't say anything about how to cut the peaches, so I just cut them in cubes. I drained them first. She didn't say to do that for the cans, but I'm assuming you don't put all that extra liquid in there. Okay, add milk, egg, and oil and stir together with spatula just until flour disappears. And then I put full, golly, Fill muffin cups with batter 3/4 full, and then make the topping by combining everything together and then like mashing in the butter. And then you put that on the top, and he says spoon it on, but I think I'd probably just crumble it with my fingers and bake for 20 minutes until golden brown, or until golden brown. All right. So them's the recipe. Okay. And so, first things first, we're going to combine our flour, baking powder, salt, and sugar in a large bowl, and we're going to whisk it. So in here is already the flour, and also I'm including the cinnamon in that. You know me and my cinnamon. Okay, so this is the salt, the baking powder, and the cinnamon together. And then we also have to do the sugar. And you guys know that I use that Merino sugar, or the sugarcane sugar, so it's not bleached. So at least we got that going for us. I don't know how great that is, but I feel like it's a little better. I guess you could always substitute things like honey, maple syrup. But when you do that, I always think, because it's a liquid then, does it require less liquid in the recipe? I've never actually looked that up, to be honest. That was just a text from my daughter. Apparently O.J. Simpson is dead. That's what it says. O.J. is dead. Okay. So I whisked this all together. Yeah. Okay. And then it says to add the milk, egg, and oil and stir together with a spatula. Okay, so now we switch. Do I need this again, though? You don't think so? All right. Spatula. Okay. I just got thrown there for a minute. Okay. Add milk. Okay. Egg and oil. Alright, here's my oil. I don't know, I've resorted to this after I read a couple things. Oh, it's kind of not melted anymore. Let me just stick it in the... That's weird. I didn't do it that long ago. It shouldn't take much. I read somewhere that if you want to kind of fancy up like a boxed cake, to swap out melted butter for, here we go. I don't think it's completely melted, to be honest, for your vegetable oil. And it also says to add an extra egg. So most of them require 3, and it says, see, there was still a chunk in there. Gosh darn it. So it's not quite melted all the way. Maybe that'll give it a buttery, that's what I'm thinking. That's my thought process here. Because it will give the, what I thought were cupcakes, yeah, I can read, are actually not. They're calling them muffins. Oh, let me get this egg in here. That's so weird. So, oh my gosh. God, I would start over if I hadn't already like dumped half the ingredients in there. Because oh. Wow. Okay. And you know, wouldn't it just happen the minute I can't find it, that I wipe down the counter? Okay. So, I'm gonna get that mixed up in there. Come on, egg. I wonder if that's true of those pre-made muffin mixes. I know you can use those muffin mixes to make pancakes. I've read that. I haven't actually done that yet, but I have a ton of them, so that would be kind of fun. Maybe for one of our lake breakfasts. Because I have a bunch of different flavors. Okay, this egg is being stubborn. Okay. And, oh, just until flour disappears. I didn't know that was part of that part. Gosh darn it, I am not having a good moment. Let's take a deep breath. And then we're just supposed to fill. How did I skip over that whole step of adding the peaches? Gosh. This is not boding well already. Now, I didn't like totally dry out the peaches because, you know, fresh peaches aren't hopefully dry. Oh my gosh. I knew when I added that step, I added the peach step at the end of this other part, which wasn't like that in the recipe. I knew that was going to mess me up. And it did. Doesn't talk about adding the vanilla though, and I know I didn't miss that part. It's probably gonna be overmixed now. Hey, as long as they taste good, right? Okay. Well, Kristen does it again. All right. I also forgot to grab mine. Oh my goodness. I'm going to take a breath while I'm back here for a minute. Slow my roll. Yeah, and I got 2 books to talk to you about. So after I'm done with this, all I can do is talk with you. And make the crumble part. So I think this might be, I don't know, a couple tablespoons? I don't know. So I'm going to do 1 of these in each. And that should be, might be a little more than 3/4 full, but I mean, I've already messed up everything. They're like mostly peaches. At least that one was. I probably used more peaches than I'm supposed to, too. It smells really good. I'll tell you that. You know, this again would be one of those things where you could, I mean, if it's considered a muffin, it's a very unhealthy one. And it would definitely turn this into a dessert. Ooh, did I? Okay. Turn it into a dessert, warm it up. If you don't serve them directly out of the oven with, you know, take it out of the wrapper and put some ice cream on it, or even some whipped cream. I think that would be delicious. That one got like 1 peach. All right, come on, people. What is happening here? This is what happens when you don't mix it correctly. Tell you what, it's pretty yummy though. Oh my gosh, it's so yummy. Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. And so quick, right? I mean, that wasn't hard to do. Even getting the ingredients ready wasn't that intimidating. And I weighed the flour again. I really like how quickly that goes, and I'm not like guessing, you know, that it's right. Okay, come on. Okay. So I'm going to talk about hope, because don't we all need a little bit of it, I feel like. And I want to know where you guys are drawing from, where you're getting your hopeful inspirations, where you feel like the most, I don't know, confident maybe helps, I'm sure, that you can hope for something better. But what is it that inspires you to be hopeful? That's one thing I'm working on and working through and trying to find a better way to go about things, maybe, so I'm not so frustrated by lack of progress. Or I set this down for a minute, but I don't know where. Here, I'll put in my spoon rest for a second because there's a good scraping of stuff. Trying to see what is over here. Could have used another peach, but it's so yummy. Hopefully I didn't, like make it this super dense. I don't know why I just whispered that, but I did. Okay. Don't pay attention to me. I know, raw dough bat. So bad. So deliciously bad. I don't know, the element of butter there, I think it definitely does it. So, if you follow this recipe the way I did it, you'll get a buttery note. Okay. Now that I'm done wearing all of that, I'm salivating. Okay. And then combine and spoon. Oh, I gotta get my chunks of butter out too. I pre-chunked. Okay, so here it bees. So in here's my 1/4 cup, which was weighed out. So a 1/4 cup is 30 grams, and a full cup is 120. Those are just two I've used a lot, so I have now committed them to memory. And I thought I'd share that with you, in case you do a lot of weighing and Googling. How much does 1 cup? I've done it about 72 times, I'm pretty sure. So if I don't have it memorized now, there's no hope. So in here, we're supposed to just combine everything. So flour, sugar, cinnamon, and baking powder. Okay, and then I'm gonna, oh, I shouldn't have got my whisk wet. Why did I get my whisk wet? I have a paper towel here. I can just dry it off. Okay. And then whiskey. Supposed to kind of fold in the butter with our hands. Not fold in, I guess, so much as massage it. You must massage it. This part I hate because I guess I just picked a container that is just not even wide enough to allow me to get my hands in there. I don't know, is it any better? Probably not. Oi! This, I'm telling you, if I could start over, Magnus is thinking the same thing, everybody. Can my mama start over? Okay. So anyway, when you're talking about hope, there's so many different avenues that we all get hope from. Sorry, I disappeared again, but now I'm looking for my I really have this aversion to getting granules of things under my fingernails. Anyway, I know we all need some, and it's not unreasonable to say, hey, what are you doing to come by some hope? What keeps you looking to the brighter side of life, kind of? Because it isn't easy. So, let's help each other out. Knife sitting in there. Oh, by the way, I have this huge, like, bathtub sink, basically. It's like, there's no divider between the two sinks. And when we remodeled this kitchen, that was one thing not one of many things that I had to have. Because I hate when you have like a 13 by 9 inch pan and you can't rinse both sides of it at the same time. I love that I did that for myself. That and the sprayer in the faucet, I love that. So, alright, I think we're at a good, crumble, if you will. Kind of pea-sized butter chunks. Butter bits. Okay. I don't know why I brought out my sink. I just love my sink. Anyway. So to say that we need a little bit of kindness, tenderness, whatever you want to call it, with each other isn't out of the realm of possibility. Hope exists. It does. I have it. I know I do. I just need to be reminded of it every once in a while. I can see what she means by you'd almost need to spoon it on, but I don't want to. Yeah, see, it's already not. I like to guide it with my hands a little better, not using an implement to. I don't know, this is more powdery than I imagined. See, I would have almost added, since they're muffins, I would have almost added like a oatmeal to it too. Because I love that kind of streusel crumble. I mean, I know there's a difference, and I never remember which one is which. I know I've tried to correct myself several times, and I think in the correction I've actually corrected myself wrong. If that makes any sense. So, but hope is necessary. Hope is what keeps us standing upright and acknowledging that there is more, or there is something after whatever it is, you're going through. So remember, even the bad times don't last forever. And I like the other quote, I have successfully been through every bad day of mine so far. I have a 100%. I'm batting 1,000, if you will. So that's the other. So with that, I don't know if I've accomplished what I wanted to say here. I might go back. Let me talk to you about the cake from 2 weeks ago. Had its good and bads. I would say the salt factor was just crazy. And I don't know if I mismeasured or if I grabbed by mismeasuring read it wrong or grabbed the wrong, measuring spoon, or if that's what she chose to do, or if I was supposed to use unsalted. But I don't know. It was pretty intense. So I did add not only the frosting, And we had the pudding in between the layers. I also added like a strawberry whipped cream combo on the top and made it kind of like a shortcake because it was. And again, I'm having issues with density even now after I have, measured ingredients instead of, or weighed them instead of measuring them, I guess is what I meant. And I'm completely dumbfounded by why the texture of things I do. So I'm either over stirring or maybe it's the gluten-free flour I use. I don't know, but I've never, I'm making such a mess. This is such a powdery, I would definitely add oatmeal to this one for future. There's so much left still. This seems like a lot. Okay. But yeah, so I'm a little. Once I did that, it turned out quite a bit better. And I gave it to the people I babysit for. He said it was good. I think they might be being nice. I don't know. Oh my gosh. I have more on the outside. I wonder if I can shake it into the... I don't want that burning something. That would be a pain in the patootie to get out of there. Alright. Yeah. And I ended up still with stuff on my teeth. I don't know why that upsets me so much. Alright. Okay. So there you have it. I'm not going to add all this in here. Most of it's gone. Now here's what they look like. I don't know if you can really tell. Okay, but they're going to go in for 20 minutes, supposedly. I'm telling you, I swear my oven is off, too. And then the other thing I read that I don't know if anybody's ever read before, I'm sure they have, but it was my first time hearing it, was that you shouldn't judge your cake being done by if the toothpick comes out clean. Now, you do not see that. Okay. Now, I've always felt that way, but every recipe I've ever read says that. So I'm a little confuzzled. I was initially judging it by just if it was, if I wiggled it and it was still jiggly, that it was done. But now I'm thinking that maybe I'm making it denser by wiggling it flat. I don't know. Maybe I'm grasping at straws. You guys tell me. Okay, but it tasted good. And I really like the whipped cream doohickey thingy I put on the top, which is basically I macerated the strawberries with some sugar and some vanilla. I would say a couple tablespoons of powdered sugar and like a teaspoon of vanilla for like a... Did I use frozen vanilla? No, I used fresh. About a half of the 1 pound containers of strawberries. So I let that sit overnight, and then whip the cream and then kind of put them together and use that as an additional frosting. All right, so the other thing I want to talk about are the two books. The one we just finished, which is called The Four Seasons, and I don't remember. Why does that seem so bright? I don't remember if I've even talked to you about this one at all. I know told you we started it. Okay, so they are the seasoned sisters, bound by blood, driven apart by a tragedy. Now they are about to embark on a bittersweet journey into the unknown, an odyssey of promise and forgiveness, of loss and rediscovery. Jillian, Beatrice, and Rose have gathered for the funeral of their youngest sister, Meredith. Her death and the legacy she leaves them will trigger a cross-country journey in search of a stranger with the power to mend their shattered lives. As the emotions of the past reverberate into the present, Jillian, Beatrice, and Rose search for the girls they once were, in hopes of finding what they really lost, the women they were meant to be. Can I tell you that I think I pretty much cried from beginning to end? This book, so well. I know I keep saying that, but I don't know if I'm just a really good, I have really good lending libraries, or I don't know, I'm just able to see some really good books in there. And again, obviously I'm reading the titles when I'm looking at them, and I'm seeing the pictures, but I am not doing anything else. I'm grabbing a lot of them up. I do leave some there. Usually instructional ones I leave there, or I did grab a couple cookbooks, but other than that, I'm not usually grabbing those. So textbooks, usually I'm staying away from, I do have to say I'm staying away from anything political, but that's probably about it. Okay, so to say this book has really left an impact on me is quite true, and I'm kind of speechless about it because we just finished. I'm trying to think how many pages it was. 420, and I think we read it in a week, maybe. I don't know. Thinking that I only read about, I don't know, anywhere from 15 minutes to, I don't know, yesterday was, no, the day before was quite a bit longer because I just had this little bit left and I had to finish. I do have to say that some of the things that I felt were going to happen did happen, so there is a predictability factor there. But the way she sets up the characters, the way she delves into the past, the tragedy that they talk about on the back, it unfolds kind of in snippets, which is kind of cool. I would say that when I can kind of really get a good grasp of what the person visually, the author thought the person should look like, and I mean, I'm hoping that's what I'm getting. She did a very good job of doing that as well. And to the way she kind of divulged like family secrets and things was maybe a little bit predictable. Like those were the kinds of things that I kind of knew were coming, but it was kind of cool the way that she at least divulged the information. And yeah, I can't even talk about it anymore. I really can't. It's like I said, yeah, I'm speechless, and that doesn't happen very often. Okay, but then I go and pick up. Now keep in mind, I have like a whole library in my garage. So when I go out there, I just kind of delve in and I grab, I might be judging then by the cover, but I do not read the back. And I promise you I don't. You have my word so far. Okay. This one is really cool. It's different. It kind of has a Eric Larson kind of vibe to it, where it has some good informational facts, you know, true information and well, let me just read the back for you, and then I have a page inside that I want to read as well. Okay, so this is called The Truffle Underground, and right under that it says a tale of mystery, mayhem, and manipulation in the shadowy market of the world's most expensive fungus. And it's by Ryan Jacobs. Okay, so the back says, a thrilling journey through the hidden underworld of the most prized luxury ingredient. Beneath the gloss of star chefs and crystal-laden tables, the truffle supply chain is touched by theft, secrecy, sabotage, and fraud. Farmers patrol their fields with rifles and fear losing trade secrets to spies. Hunters plant poisoned meatballs to I couldn't read that word. Eliminate rival truffle hunting dogs. Naive buyers and even knowledgeable experts are duped by liars and counterfeiters. Deeply reported and elegantly written by Ryan Jacobs, who began this investigation for The Atlantic, this page-turning expose documents the dark, sometimes deadly crimes at each level of the truffle's path from ground to plate, making sense of an industry that traffics in scarcity, seduction, and cash. Through it all, a question lingers. What, other than money, draws people to these dirty covered jewels? Isn't that intriguing? I mean, come on. I had no... when you think about the truffle being shaved over your plate, which, trust me, I never have. You don't think about that part. That's pretty scary. Okay. Author's note, right in the front of the book, says, all events, characters, and locations portrayed in this account are real. No names have been changed, but some sources have been kept anonymous. Crime and vice are difficult to observe firsthand, so all scenes at which I was not present are based upon extensive interviews with victims, law enforcement officials, or other sources with credible knowledge about how they occurred. Other relevant source materials is listed in the notes section. In a few instances, minor details lost to history, sources, memories, or industry secrets have been supposed in a way that is consistent with other available facts. This is especially I'm going to pause you for a second. My light just fell down. All right, sorry about that. Sorry, where was I? In two words I couldn't put together and actually speak out loud for some reason. They were... Okay, this is especially applicable to sections that focus on the early and mid-19th century, which are supported by contemporaneous but sparse accounts. These suppositions were considered carefully and always aimed to get the reader closer to the reality of what happened. Much of my reporting was conducted through French and Italian translators. In favor of avoiding distraction, distinctions between interviews conducted in English and those conducted in a foreign language were not made unless they were directly relevant to the story. So, yeah. Really good. I mean, we're on page, let's see what page we're on. 42. And I'm just in awe. I had no idea. I mean, I knew they were worth a lot, and I didn't know worth that much. And I don't know, when was this book written? Oh, the way the contents is, it's almost like a textbook, because it lists like the chapter name or the part name, and then like the chapters within it. So I thought that was kind of cool. What was I saying? There was what else? Like 500 pounds per truffle, I believe it was. Or was I have to go back and look, and I wish I would have marked that page, because I was just like... And then there's these black diamond ones that are worth like, oh my gosh. And I'll just tell you some celebrities that talks about they don't leave in their private jets until there's truffles on board. I'm like, okay. Good for them. I can't can't say that I would be worried about that. That's just me. I just want to check our. Yeah. Ours doesn't look so much like a crumble as a, I don't know, kind of glaze on top. So, I don't know what I did wrong there either. I know I was going to say something else about this book, and now for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. I read something on the back. I do believe I was going to say something to the effect if I should start training my dog how to find truffles. I'm just being silly though. So I think that's about it until our muffins are done, which isn't too much longer. I don't know if I covered hope all that well, but I do think, I don't know, I think the book, The Four Seasons, kind of inspired that topic because, I mean, that was what basically they were dealing with the whole time. And the sister that died, she had an accident, or there was an accident when she was, gosh, I can't remember how old she was. So the one little girl was 6, so she might have been 2 or 3 maybe, I think. And so it left her with like a slower thought process and like her lungs, damaged lungs. So whatever happened with the death, I'm not sure that got explained too well, as the fact that they said she died due to complications from this. But that happened when she was 3, and she died when she was... I'm trying to remember. Was she the 26? I could be getting it mixed up with another character in the book. But there was a lot of hope that happened in that book, and a lot of it came to fruition by people working together and the sisters coming together after not really being around each other too much after they grew up because of several things that happened within their family secrets that I don't want to divulge here. I think it's important that you read it all like together. But in that sense, that was kind of cool, not cool, but it was a good way for her to kind of unravel the mysteries behind what happened within the family when they were younger, and what became of the parents. The cool thing was they had a nickname given to them by their dad because they were called the Four Seasons. And while their names are Jillian, Beatrice, Rose, and Meredith, they were each born, I think 2 of them were born in the same season, but the other 2 were born in different seasons, so he's giving them nicknames based on the season they were born in. I don't know, I didn't really get it. Like Jillian became Jilly, and Beatrice became, was she Birdie? Oh my gosh, I can't even remember now. And Rose was just Rose, and Meredith became Mary because she was born in December. All right, I'm going to put you on hold until these are done. I'm going to get back to you about the nickname. I don't know why I'm drawing a complete blank now, but it's been one of those days. So I'm going to pause you for a second. I'll be back in a little bit. All right, I'm back and ready to sample. I picked one, and it's so full of peaches. I'm ready. It's so moist. Crumble's good. Still very hot. And I got some stuff on my nose. Wow. That's really good. I'm glad I listened to my instincts. and took them out at the 20 minutes because while they seem not done, they are. And it's just like peach juices and butter. Like hot, hot, hot. Oh, so hot. All right. Well, I think I'm going to let you go now. You've got to try these, guys. I think, well, I messed up the order of things. I did okay. It turned out pretty yummy. The only thing I would say is I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how her crumble looked a little more like bespeckled. Maybe she didn't like break hers down as much. You know, when it said it was a muffin, I was like, ooh, I bet you this would be really good just warmed up with some butter on it. Doesn't even need butter on it. It's all in there. All right, guys, I think all I have left to say, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I think I covered everything that I wanted to. Leave me some hope comments. Give me some ideas. Tell me what you're thinking. Maybe try these muffins. This is so good. Woo. And with that being said, I want you to have a good day. Go do great things. Be your best self. And please live your best blessed life. Thanks for watching.